Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and in today's video, we're going to discuss what the DXY is screaming exactly to Bitcoin and the rest of the cryptocurrency market. If you appreciate the content, make sure to give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon for notifications, and drop a comment. I appreciate engaging with everyone. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on YouTube, TradingView, and Instagram at Crypto Bull God, one word. Just a quick disclosure that none of what I'm sharing is financial advice. I'm simply looking to educate and to help others. We're all big boys and big girls, and as such, we can make our own personal financial decisions, right? So with that being said, let's get into it. This is the DXY. This is the 2-week chart. It's very important to see what I have illustrated here. These are time frames. What do these time frames indicate? The red vertical lines, okay? This is the point in time when the DXY topped. The green vertical line, this is the time and point when the DXY had bottomed, okay? And within each of these movements, okay, between these red and green bars, you can see large swings down the DXY, large swings up in the DXY, okay? What's going on with the yellow and the orange? Why is this different? Well, there was something a little bit different that occurred in this time point that we're going to talk about with Bitcoin. Here, once again, we see a large parabolic movement in the DXY, but it didn't correct right away. It didn't correct. It went sideways, which is denoted by the orange box here. So the yellow box denotes the large upswing in the DXY, and the orange box denotes sideways chippy chop until we finally got our correction. Now, keep in mind, if you've been subscribed to this channel and have been following my content, I have been stating for a very long time that historically, very important point to keep in mind, the DXY and the cryptocurrency market have an inverse relationship. As one is going up massively, the other is falling massively, and vice versa. Okay, very important to keep in mind. You will want to stick around until the end of the video because there are two scenarios I see playing out going into next year. Okay, and I will share with you which scenario I believe will play out and why. Now, keep these time frames in mind and what they signal, because we're going to take these exact time frames and we're going to plot them on the Bitcoin chart as well as the total cryptocurrency market cap. Okay, red lines and green lines are showing up again, right? But let's first talk about the yellow and the orange. Now, as you recall, the yellow is when the DXY was going through a huge parabolic movement. What did Bitcoin do? Bitcoin went through a massive correction. It did the inverse of that. Also notice that the timing does not line up 100%. You can see that the DXY began its parabolic run right about here after Bitcoin had already topped. So timing isn't exactly perfect. After the DXY had topped, what happened during that parabolic movement? We went sideways, okay? The parabola was over. It had ended. We had topped. It didn't massively correct right away. But instead, what it did is it went sideways. Remember this? It went sideways. We actually created a new high, but it went sideways. During that time, what did Bitcoin do? This is very critical that you understand this. We created higher highs and higher lows. We began to build the bullish structure for our parabolic movement in 2017. After the DXY had topped out, what happened? It massively corrected. What did Bitcoin do? It massively appreciated in value. The DXY then had bottomed at this green line. You can see it's not at the exact top when Bitcoin had topped, right? Again, a little bit of a lag there, right? The timing is not perfect, right? But as soon as the DXY had topped, okay, what happened with Bitcoin? It started going through this massive correction. Yes, there was a bottom in here at $3,100, and we did ride this up to 14. Okay, but the general idea here is that we did see a general downtrend, right? We didn't create new all-time highs, right? During this time frame, we saw a general downtrend. After the DXY had topped out, okay, it went on its big run. What did Bitcoin do? Parabolic run, parabolic run. We then topped out. This is essentially a double top here. Okay, essentially a double top, part of the expanding flat correction of the Elliott wave for correction. Okay, the DXY had bottomed out. And since it's been going on this huge parabolic run, right? What has Bitcoin done? It has corrected massively in value. Now note, this actually lines up the timing here of this November 7th 2-week candlestick. If we come back here, this is where I'm saying there's confirmation, this big red candlestick here on the DXY. This to me is the confirmation that this parabola has ended. Okay, that actually coincides with where we've currently bottomed on Bitcoin at 15,005 or 15,006. Okay, very important to keep in mind. Now, let's take these same time frames and let's apply them to the total cryptocurrency market cap and see how it lines up. Now, we don't have the data back in 2013-14 on this chart, right? But what we do have are the red and green vertical lines showing where the DXY had topped and bottomed. The same sort of idea is playing out. Okay, I don't need to go through all of these time frames, but you can see an inverse relationship. We're going up here as the DXY had already bottomed and saw a massive price appreciation and was correcting. Okay, and you can see the timing isn't like this here. The DXY had bottomed here, right? Well, we topped here, right? So there's like a week or two lag. Okay, so again, the timing isn't perfect. But the DXY is signaling to you, it's screaming to you that, hey, I have an inverse relationship with crypto. And if my parabolic run is over, okay, and I'm starting to correct, historically, cryptocurrency starts to do the inverse. It starts to appreciate massively in value. And that's exactly what we see going on here, okay? So there's really, if I explain that well, there's really two things that you should be able to discern from this. There are two scenarios, okay? Two scenarios. Scenario one, you can see that we had a parabolic move right here, okay? We've had our second parabolic move in Bitcoin's history right here. This was not a parabolic run prior to the correction. This was not a parabolic run prior to the correction, but this is a parabolic run, and this is a parabolic run. So scenario one is we could get something like this over here, okay? Chippy chop, orange box, chippy chop. Now, what would happen to Bitcoin if the DXY just sort of chopped around for the next year, okay? What Bitcoin would do in 2023 is essentially build the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative. Nothing too exciting, but we would begin to build our higher highs and higher lows in 2023, right? And then what we could see, okay, similar to what played out here, after it does all this sideways chippy chop, massive correction. Okay, and that could occur in 2024 where we really see that blow off top. That is scenario one. What is scenario two? Well, scenario two is we've had a parabolic run and we're going to see the parabola has been confirmed to end. Okay, and what scenario two would look at is the correction taking place now. The correction similar to this. Okay, 13, by the way, historically, in these red arrows, 13 to 15% corrections, bringing the DXY down to around 97 to 99 in 2023. So scenario two is we see the correction now. There is no chippy chop. We don't see this. We just see the correction in 2023. Bitcoin sets new all-time highs, not in 2024, in 2023. Okay, in 2023 is when we see our blow off top. What do I believe will occur? Well, we have a probability for everything, right? But at the end of the day, I believe scenario two is going to play out. Why do I feel scenario two? The reason I feel scenario two, if you've been subscribed to here for a while, are because of all the charts and data science models that we've already looked at, right? I'm still waiting for wave 5. We've had this expanded flat correction, okay, in wave 4, okay? And it's been bloody. It's been terrible. I've said it's gone deeper and longer than I expected, but nothing about the structure of that has changed. And we're still waiting for that 5th impulse wave. Plus, there are tons of other data science models and charts that lead us to conclude that we are way oversold and impending mass appreciation in the market. There are just too many other things that I've looked at that still leave me feeling convicted that 2023 is the year to see 100,000 plus Bitcoin. Okay, so I lean towards scenario two, okay? You might say to me, hey, CBG, you have a parabolic movement here. You've already said this is only the second time in Bitcoin's history we've had a parabolic movement. Why, if we're having a parabolic movement here, wouldn't, similar to back here when we had a parabolic movement, why wouldn't we get the orange chippy chop box? Keep in mind, okay, probabilities consist of something called a sample size, okay? We can have more confidence the larger the sample size or the number of events. This is one event. Just because we had one parabola in the past that led to some chippy chop and slow growth in 1 year does not mean, okay, it does not imply that that's what we're going to see moving forward when something similar presents itself again. This is one event, right? But what we can say with conviction, okay, even though there's a little bit of a lag in recognition when things top and bottom between this inverse relationship, what we can say with conviction is in the entire history of Bitcoin in this crypto market, when we have seen a massive drop in the DXY, which is what we're waiting for, we have seen a massive appreciation in crypto and Bitcoin, as well as all of equity markets, okay? So this should leave us feeling convicted that the DXY is a big screaming indicator to us that we are awaiting mass appreciation in Bitcoin crypto, no matter how it feels emotionally. If you appreciated this content, make sure to share it with at least one person. And until next time, spread awareness, carry the education forward.
So what you gonna do, fiat dollar? Well, crypto bull god and his crypto maniacs and the entire cryptocurrency market run wild. Oh.